Good day. Welcome to your news at noon on Kaieteur Radio. I'm Kevin Smith. Without further ado, let's get to the news in detail. After investing millions of US dollars into the Guyana Marriott Hotel and burdening taxpayers with a multi-million US dollar loan that the hotel was unable to service, the government of Guyana has now decided to sell the controversial hotel. The almost $60 million US dollar hotel started under Vice President Bara Jagdeo's tenure as president using taxpayers' dollars and other funds. The hotel, which was opened in 2015, is owned by the government through the NISO. Notably, Atlantic Hotel Inc., a special purpose company owned by NISO, was established to own the Kingston Georgetown Hotel. The Marriott Hotel has been deemed over the years as a monument of corruption and a colossal waste of taxpayers' money. Importantly, financial statements for the hotel have not been made public for several years. Now, 7 years after being operational and touting the investment as one of the most transformational projects, the PPP administration is now ready to sell the hotel. In other news, 4 firms have responded to the Ministry of Natural Resources advertisement for Request for Proposals, or RFP, to design, finance, and construct Guyana's first oil refinery. We had reported that the proposed facility will be designed to process 30,000 barrels of oil per day and be located on land provided by the government at the mouth of the Berbice River in the vicinity of Crab Island. The government's RFP said it expects construction to start by the first quarter of 2023, with project completion no later than 2 years after the start date. And moving on. The government of Guyana on Tuesday signed a $759 million US dollar contract with CH4 Linzica to build 2 natural gas plants in Wales on the west bank of Demerara. The engineering, procurement, and construction contract stipulates that CH4 is solely responsible for the design, procurement, and construction of the plants. The firm will be tasked with building a natural gas liquid plant and 300 megawatt natural gas fire plant for electricity in Wales. And now let's tell you, a young couple was on Tuesday found shot to death in what happened to be a murder-suicide in their Nissan X-Trail at Claybrick Road, Bell West Canal, number 2, West Bank, Demerara. Dead are 31-year-old Peter Charles, a barber, and his wife, Asasha Ramzan, and his wife, Asasha Ramzan, a 30-year-old state counsel with the Attorney General Chambers. The couple was last seen alive around 7 hours, and police believe that they were killed in a murder-suicide. Reports are that Charles shot and killed Ramzan before taking his own life. Crime scene investigators observed that Ramzan bore 2 gunshot wounds to the face and head, while Charles' body had a single gunshot underneath the chin. A .32 semi-automatic pistol and 4 spent shells were recovered from the vehicle. And just before we head to a short break, let's tell you that a 26-year-old miner was on Monday killed and his brother severely injured after a tree fell on them while in a mining pit at Kupang Back Dam, Cuyuni River, Region 7. The dead man has been identified as Ravin Moses of Charity, Essequibo Coast. His injured sibling, Shane Moses, is currently hospitalized at the Suddy Public Hospital. According to police, the fatal accident occurred around 10 hours 45 while the brothers and their co-workers were working on an 8-inch land dredge. Reports are that an employee operating the excavator was attempting to fell a tree away from the mining pit when the machine suddenly stopped working. As a result, the tree fell into the mining pit where the Moses brothers and their co-workers were working. The duo was pinned. The time has now moved on to 12 hours 21 in Guyana. We'll return shortly after the break.
This is GHK Lall inviting you to join me weekdays from Monday to Friday on the National Outlook for commentary on a range of issues, immediately after the 12 noon and 7 p.m. newscasts on Kaieteur Radio at 99.1 FM and 99.5 FM. Looking forward to you sharing in the conversation.
Right now, children are at an increased risk of sexual abuse, and the perpetrator can be nearer than you think. So stay alert and be aware. Be aware of your neighbors. Be aware of your friends. Be aware of the people you have in your home. Do not become complacent. Protect children now. You can make a report to the police or call the CPA hotline on 2270979.
A message from the Child Care and Protection Agency, Ministry of Human Services and Social Security, and UNICEF.
Welcome back. An elderly woman was attacked on Sunday and robbed at knife point of her chain and mobile phone by two masked motorbike bandits. The incident, which was caught on camera, occurred at Shirley Field Ridley Square. Police said the elderly woman was sitting on her veranda when two men approached her yard on a motorcycle. The pillion rider, armed with a knife and wearing a face mask, jumped into the woman's yard and attacked her. He snatched her chain and mobile phone. Meanwhile, residents of Shirley Field were shocked to hear of the incident, with one resident saying that they had not had a robbery in years. And a 20-year-old laborer of Hyde Park, East Bank, Essequibo drowned in the Essequibo River on Sunday after he disembarked a boat at Monaca to return to a bar to collect a bag which he had forgotten. The man was identified as Nyron Park. Park reportedly drowned around 8 hours 30. Police reported that Park, his employer, and other co-workers had traveled to Monaca on Saturday to inspect a work site. They spent the night there and were preparing to leave Sunday morning when tragedy struck. And moving on, the Guyana Agricultural and General Workers Union and GAISUCO on Tuesday signed an updated collective labor agreement, paving the way for sugar workers to benefit from improved pay and other conditions of work. The agreement was arrived at after several meetings between the parties over the past few weeks, GAU said in a press release. Through the agreement reached with the corporation, sugar workers on a payroll will receive an 8% wage or salary increase retroactive to January 1st, 2022. Also arising from the discussions between the parties, workers will benefit from improved allowances and benefits, which are also retroactive to the beginning of the year. And to wrap things up, an 18-year-old fisherman was on November 29th charged with murder when he made his first appearance before Magistrate Leron Daly at the Georgetown Magistrates Court. The fisherman, Nicholas De Silva, commonly called Tara, had reportedly admitted to killing 39-year-old Mark Frank on November 25th at Riverview, Georgetown. Tara was not required to plead to the indictable offense, which alleges that on November 25th he killed Frank and was remanded to prison until January 25th, 2023. And now, as usual, we close things off by turning the page of today's Kaieteur news to page 7, dedicated to being blunt. The mayor apologizes. The PPPC on Tuesday brought out all of its affiliates to condemn the mayor of Georgetown, Ubraj Narain, for comments he made regarding the religion of the president. The mayor has since apologized. The mayor this time was challenging the callous removal of vendors in front of the Georgetown Public Hospital. Kaieteur believe the vendors must be removed, but with dignity and possible alternative space to ply their trade at this critical juncture heading into the Christmas season. The government has now mobilized paper organizations, some never seen or heard of before, to condemn the mayor for his remarks, fittingly so. But we also wish these same people and groups would be moved similarly to stand up and protest for Guyana, that is being robbed daily by foreigners and poor governance. And with that, we've come to the end of today's News at Noon. I'm Kevin Smith. Thank you for listening.
And that's the news of the moment. Remember to get the full details of